Ancient Mystery Decoded: How the first letter of your name connects you to a powerful archangel. Have you ever wondered if your name holds a deeper meaning, a sacred connection to the divine realm? I used to dismiss such thoughts as mere superstition, until life brought me to my knees and showed me otherwise. 2 years ago, I was sitting in my empty office, staring at the final eviction notice. My tech startup, which I'd poured 5 years of my life and every penny of savings into, was crumbling. The pandemic had wiped out our major clients, and our investors had just pulled out. 15 employees, 15 families were depending on me, and I had failed them all. That night, lying awake at 3 a.m., my mind racing with worst-case scenarios, I did something I hadn't done since childhood. I prayed. Not to any specific deity or saint, just a desperate cry for help into the universe. "Please," I whispered into the darkness, "I need guidance. I need a sign. Any sign." What happened next would change my understanding of divine intervention forever. As I finally drifted off to sleep, I had the most vivid dream of my life. A being of pure light appeared, emanating an energy so powerful yet gentle that tears streamed down my face. The most striking feature? Wings that seemed to be made of pure golden light. But here's the incredible part. This wasn't just any angel. When I researched the experience later, I discovered that the specific characteristics matched perfectly with Archangel Michael, and my name starts with M. This wasn't a coincidence. In fact, throughout history and across different spiritual traditions, there has been a profound connection between our names and the divine beings who guide us. The first letter of your name isn't random. It resonates with specific frequencies that align with particular archangels. Think about it. When you hear someone call your name, it creates a unique vibration. These sound vibrations carry specific frequencies, and just like a radio needs to be tuned to the right frequency to receive a clear signal, our names help us tune into the specific divine frequencies of certain archangels. I'm not alone in this discovery. Since sharing my story, I've connected with countless others who've experienced similar revelations. Sarah, whose business was also struggling, discovered her connection with Archangel Shamuel, associated with S, and received unexpected guidance that led to a complete turnaround. Robert found his path through Archangel Raphael, R, who helped him navigate a seemingly impossible situation. The system of 12 archangels isn't just ancient wisdom. It's a practical tool for modern times. Each archangel possesses unique attributes and energies that resonate with specific groups of letters. For example, those with names beginning with A or B connect with Archangel Ariel, known for courage and manifesting resources. Those with C or D align with Shamuel, the finder of lost things, whether they're tangible items or lost hope. But here's what's fascinating. This isn't just about passive protection. Understanding your archangelic connection can actively enhance your decision-making, boost your intuition, and help you navigate life's challenges with greater clarity. It's like having a divine GPS system, guiding you toward your highest good. As we explore each archangel and their corresponding letters, you'll discover not just their traditional roles, but also how their energies can practically support you in today's world. You'll learn about the scientific basis of name vibrations, how to calculate your personal lucky numbers based on your name and archangel, and most importantly, how to recognize and work with these divine energies in your daily life. The connection between names and archangels isn't just an ancient belief. It's a living, breathing system that becomes more relevant with each passing day. As our world grows more complex and challenging, having this divine guidance becomes increasingly valuable. Are you ready to discover your archangelic connection? To understand the profound significance of your name's first letter? To learn how to recognize and work with these divine energies in your own life? Let's begin this journey together, exploring the 12 mighty archangels and how they connect with each of us through the sacred vibrations of our names. 1. Archangel Ariel, letters A-B. If your name begins with A or B, you're connected to Ariel, known as the Lioness of God. There's something profoundly powerful yet gentle about this archangel's energy, like the strength of a lioness combined with the nurturing touch of Mother Earth herself. I remember clearly the day Lisa Andrews walked into my office, her startup on the verge of collapse. She carried the weight of impending bankruptcy in her shoulders, skepticism clear in her eyes when I mentioned her connection to Ariel through her initial A. Angels? She smiled warily. I need a miracle, not fairy tales. What fascinates me about Ariel's energy frequency is how it manifests in our physical world. Imagine a radio signal that connects directly to the essence of abundance and natural prosperity. Lisa began noticing this connection in subtle ways, first in recurring symbols of lions appearing in unexpected places, then in sudden moments of clarity about her business's direction. The transformation began when she started spending time in nature, particularly during sunrise. Something shifted, she told me months later. It was like the early morning light carried messages about my company's true purpose. Her tech startup, originally focused on consumer analytics, found its new direction in environmental monitoring. The pivot wasn't just successful, it felt aligned with a deeper purpose. Many people ask me how to recognize Ariel's guidance. Lisa's experience shows us the way. The answers often come through nature itself. A sudden awareness during a morning walk, an unexpected solution appearing during a moment of quiet reflection in a park. The key is creating space for these insights by maintaining a clean, organized environment and staying open to nature's wisdom. The most powerful aspect of connecting with Ariel isn't just about receiving help, it's about recognizing opportunities for growth. When Lisa learned to trust her intuition about business opportunities, she found herself making decisions that not only saved her company, but transformed it into something far more meaningful than she'd initially imagined. 2. Archangel Chamuel, letters C-D. For those whose names begin with C or D, Chamuel stands as your celestial guide. Known as He Who Sees God, this archangel specializes in finding what's lost. Not just physical items, but lost opportunities, forgotten dreams, and perhaps most crucially, lost hope in times of crisis. David Chen's story perfectly illustrates Chamuel's guidance in action. After losing everything in a failed investment, David found himself in what he called the darkest maze of my life. His investors were gone, his reputation seemed irreparably damaged, and his confidence had hit rock bottom. But his connection with Chamuel through the letter D would prove transformative in ways he never expected. The frequency of Chamuel's energy works like a divine fog light, cutting through confusion to reveal paths that were always there but hidden from view. For David, clarity didn't come as a thunderbolt of inspiration, but through a gradual lifting of the mental fog that had clouded his judgment. David's journey back began with simple moments of reflection. During his daily walks, patterns started emerging in his understanding of his failed business. The very experiences that seemed like pure failure began revealing themselves as precious lessons. It was like having a wise friend walking beside me, he explained, helping me see the bigger picture hidden in my setbacks. Through this newfound clarity, David discovered his true calling, helping other entrepreneurs navigate their own business challenges. The consulting firm he built from the ashes of his failed venture now helps others avoid the very pitfalls he encountered. His personal experience of being lost and found became his greatest asset in helping others find their way. 3. Archangel Gabriel, letters E-F. Those whose names begin with E or F share a profound connection with Gabriel, the divine messenger. Emma Franklin's story beautifully illustrates how this archangel's energy manifests in modern professional life, particularly during ethical crossroads. As a financial advisor, Emma found herself in an impossible situation, aware of questionable practices within her firm, but unsure about speaking up. Her connection with Gabriel through the letter E proved to be her guiding light through this moral maze. Gabriel's frequency resonates with crystal-clear communication, like a perfect radio signal without static. For Emma, this clarity emerged gradually in her dreams and quiet moments of reflection. She began noticing patterns in her thoughts, recurring themes that pointed toward not just what to say, but how and when to say it. The guidance wasn't about dramatic whistleblowing, Emma shared. It was about finding a way to address issues that would lead to positive change rather than destruction. Through careful, thoughtful communication, she managed to initiate reforms that transformed her firm's practices without causing the chaos she had feared. The beauty of Gabriel's guidance lies in its subtlety. Emma learned to recognize it in those first impressions that proved surprisingly accurate, in the quiet moments before important meetings, when the right words would suddenly come to her. Her dream journal became a valuable tool, filled with insights that often made more sense in the light of day. The most remarkable aspect of Emma's story isn't just that she succeeded in creating positive change. It's how she did it. By tuning into Gabriel's energy, she found a way to speak her truth with both courage and compassion, transforming potential conflict into collaborative improvement. 4. Archangel Jophiel, letters GH. Among all the archangels, Jophiel holds a special place as the angel of beauty and positive transformation. For those whose names begin with G or H, this connection brings a unique perspective on life's challenges, particularly during professional crises. Grace Henderson's story caught my attention because it challenged everything I thought I knew about business turnarounds. As the owner of a struggling art gallery in Chicago, she faced imminent closure during the economic downturn. I was focusing so hard on the numbers, I'd forgotten why I started the gallery in the first place, she confided. Jophiel's energy vibrates at a frequency that helps us see beauty in chaos, opportunity in crisis. It's like having a pair of divine glasses that reveal hidden possibilities in seemingly hopeless situations. For Grace, this manifested as an ability to see beyond traditional business models. During what she thought would be her gallery's final month, Grace started noticing subtle shifts in her perception. Instead of seeing empty wall space as a sign of failure, she began viewing it as a canvas for possibility. This shift led to her revolutionary idea of transforming her gallery into a hybrid space, part traditional gallery, part community art center. The solution wasn't about cutting costs or aggressive marketing, Grace explained. It was about rediscovering the beauty in what I do and sharing that vision with others. She began offering art therapy sessions for stressed executives, transforming her gallery into a sanctuary of creativity and healing in the business district. The wisdom of Jophiel taught Grace that true prosperity often comes not from fighting against adversity, but from finding and amplifying the beauty within it. Her gallery didn't just survive, it became a pioneering model for art spaces in the post-pandemic world. 5. Archangel Metatron, letters ONJ. Metatron, often described as the angel of divine structure, holds a special connection with those whose names begin with I or J. This archangel's energy is particularly powerful in bringing order to chaos and finding patterns in seemingly random events. James Morrison's journey from the brink of bankruptcy to innovative success exemplifies Metatron's influence. As a tech entrepreneur, James had built his company on complex algorithms and data analysis. Yet when the market crashed, all his carefully constructed models seemed to fail at once. Metatron's frequency operates like a cosmic organizing principle, helping us see the sacred geometry in life's chaos. For James, this manifested as an unusual ability to spot patterns in his business's collapse that others missed entirely. I was drowning in data and despair, James recalled. But then, I started seeing connections I'd never noticed before. Through Metatron's guidance, he began to understand that his company's problems weren't just financial. They were structural. The very way he had organized his business was out of alignment with its true purpose. This revelation led James to completely restructure his company. Instead of fighting against market chaos, he learned to work with it. He developed new algorithms based on natural patterns and cycles, transforming his failing tech company into a pioneer in biomimetic artificial intelligence. The most profound lesson from Metatron's guidance was that order doesn't always look like we expect it to. Sometimes what appears as chaos is actually a more complex form of organization trying to emerge. 6. Archangel Michael, letters KL. For those whose names begin with K or L, Archangel Michael serves as their divine protector and guide. Known as the warrior angel, Michael's energy brings not just protection, but clarity and courage in times of crisis. Laura Kimura's story perfectly demonstrates Michael's influence in modern business challenges. As CFO of a medium-sized company, she uncovered financial irregularities that threatened not just the company, but potentially the livelihoods of hundreds of employees. Michael's energy vibrates at a frequency that cuts through fear and confusion like a sword of light. For Laura, This manifested as an unwavering sense of purpose during her company's darkest hours. "I wasn't just afraid of losing my job," she shared. "I was terrified of making a decision that could hurt so many people." Yet through her connection with Michael, Laura found the strength to navigate this complex situation. Rather than taking the easy route of either ignoring the problems or exposing them dramatically, she felt guided to a more nuanced approach. She worked quietly but persistently, documenting everything while simultaneously developing a restructuring plan that could save the company and its employees. "It felt like having a wise warrior by my side," she explained. "Someone who understood that true strength isn't just about fighting, but about protecting what matters." The outcome wasn't just the survival of the company. It was its complete transformation into a model of corporate transparency and ethical leadership. Laura's story shows us that Michael's protection often works through us, empowering us to become protectors ourselves. 7. Archangel Raphael, letters MN. Raphael, known as the Divine Healer, shares a special connection with those whose names begin with M or N. While many associate Raphael primarily with physical healing, this archangel's energy extends far into the realm of business and financial healing as well. Natalie Morgan's experience perfectly illustrates this healing power in the corporate world. As the founder of a wellness startup, she faced not just financial bankruptcy, but a complete emotional and spiritual burnout. "I'd lost my way," she admitted. "My company was supposed to help people heal, but I was making myself and everyone around me sick with stress." Raphael's frequency resonates with restoration and wholeness. It's like a gentle but powerful stream that washes away discord and brings things back to their natural, healthy state. For Natalie, this manifested first as a series of coincidental meetings with people who would help reshape her business approach. "I started having these incredibly insightful dreams," Natalie shared. "They showed me how my company's problems were actually symptoms of a deeper imbalance." Through Raphael's guidance, she began to see that her business model itself needed healing, not just its finances. The transformation began with Natalie's own approach to leadership. She implemented what she called healing principles in her management style, prioritizing sustainable growth over rapid expansion, emotional well-being over mere productivity. These changes rippled through her organization, gradually healing both the company's culture and its bottom line. What's remarkable about Raphael's influence is how it brings healing on multiple levels simultaneously. As Natalie's company regained financial health, she noticed her team's creativity and innovation flourishing in ways she'd never imagined possible. 8. Archangel Raguel, letters OP. Those whose names begin with O or P share a unique connection with Raguel, the Archangel of Harmony and Justice. This connection becomes particularly powerful when navigating complex business relationships and organizational conflicts. Oliver Patterson's story stands out as a testament to Raguel's harmonizing influence. As the owner of a family business facing internal strife and potential division, Oliver found himself at the center of a storm that threatened not just the company's survival, but generations of family relationships. Raguel's energy vibrates at a frequency that brings balance to chaos and fairness to conflict. It's like having access to a divine mediator who can see all sides of a situation clearly. For Oliver, this manifested as an unprecedented ability to understand and reconcile competing interests within his company. "We were all so entrenched in our positions," Oliver reflected. "The business was tearing our family apart. Then something shifted in how I saw the whole situation." Through Raguel's influence, he began to recognize patterns in the conflict that everyone else had missed. Instead of taking sides or forcing solutions, Oliver found himself naturally gravitating toward approaches that honored everyone's concerns. He implemented what he later called harmony-centered management, a system that balanced profit with purpose, tradition with innovation. The most powerful aspect of Raguel's guidance wasn't in providing immediate solutions, but in revealing the interconnectedness of all aspects of the business. The company's financial recovery came as a natural result of restored relationships and renewed trust. 9. Archangel Azrael, letters QR. Azrael, often misunderstood as simply the angel of death, holds a profound connection with those whose names begin with Q or R. This archangel's true essence is about transformation and the wisdom to see beyond endings to new beginnings. Rachel Thompson's journey from corporate crisis to revolutionary innovation exemplifies Azrael's transformative power. When her decade-old consulting firm faced what seemed like certain death during an industry-wide disruption, she discovered that what appeared to be an ending was actually a powerful catalyst for transformation. Azrael's frequency operates at a level that helps us see the natural cycles of death and rebirth in all things, including business. For Rachel, this manifested as an unusual clarity during what should have been her company's darkest hour. Everyone saw bankruptcy looming, Rachel explained, but I started seeing something different. The death of an outdated business model, making way for something new. Through Azrael's guidance, she began to understand that her company's crisis was actually a necessary transition. Instead of fighting to preserve her traditional consulting model, Rachel embraced the transformation. She let go of practices that no longer served her company's purpose, even when they had been profitable in the past. This willingness to allow certain aspects of her business to die created space for remarkable innovation. The result wasn't just survival, it was complete reinvention. Her company emerged as a pioneer in digital transformation consulting, helping other businesses navigate their own necessary endings and beginnings. Through Azrael's wisdom, she learned that sometimes the greatest success comes from having the courage to let go. 10. Archangel Haniel, letters ST. Haniel, often called the Angel of Joy and Grace, shares a special connection with those whose names begin with S or T. This archangel's influence is particularly powerful in helping people find elegance and complexity and grace under pressure. Tom Sullivan's experience reveals how Haniel's energy can transform even the most stressful business situations. As the founder of a struggling tech startup, Tom found himself facing not just financial pressure, but a complete loss of the joy and passion that had once driven his innovation. Haniel's frequency resonates with lunar energy, flowing, intuitive, and deeply connected to natural cycles. For Tom, this manifested in an unexpected way during his company's darkest period. "I was always pushing, forcing things to happen," he recalled. "Then I started noticing how forced all our innovations felt." Through his connection with Haniel, Tom began to understand the natural rhythm of business cycles. Instead of fighting against market downturns, he learned to move with them, like a surfer riding waves. This shift in perspective led to a complete reimagining of his company's approach to product development. "We stopped trying to force breakthrough moments," Tom explained. "Instead, we created space for inspiration to flow naturally." This new approach not only saved his company, but transformed it into a leader in intuitive user experience design. The joy that had seemed lost returned, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a fundamental principle of his business model. The most remarkable aspect of Haniel's guidance was how it brought both practical success and personal fulfillment. Tom's story shows us that true prosperity often comes when we align our business practices with natural rhythms and find joy in the process itself. 11. Archangel Uriel, letters UV. Known as the Light of God, Uriel maintains a powerful connection with those whose names begin with U or V. This archangel's energy is particularly attuned to illuminating paths through darkness and finding wisdom in uncertainty. Victoria Chen's story perfectly illustrates Uriel's illuminating influence. When her investment firm faced a crisis that threatened to destroy decades of work and client trust, she found herself in what seemed like impenetrable darkness. Market volatility had exposed weaknesses in their traditional strategies, and clients were leaving in droves. Uriel's frequency operates like a divine flashlight, cutting through confusion with brilliant clarity. For Victoria, this manifested as moments of startling insight during her company's darkest hours. "It was like suddenly seeing connections that had always been there," she shared. "The crisis wasn't just about market changes. It was showing us where we needed to evolve." Through Uriel's guidance, Victoria began receiving insights about how to transform her firm's approach to investment. Instead of relying solely on traditional metrics, she developed new models that incorporated broader indicators of social and environmental impact. These insights didn't come as dramatic revelations, but as quiet moments of clarity during her early morning reflections. The transformation wasn't just about new investment strategies. It was about bringing light to the entire industry's approach to wealth management. Victoria's firm became a pioneer in conscious investing, proving that financial success and positive impact aren't mutually exclusive. 12. Archangel Zadkiel, letters WXYZ. Zadkiel, the Archangel of Mercy and Transformation, holds a special connection with those whose names begin with W, X, Y, or Z. This Archangel's energy is particularly powerful in situations requiring deep forgiveness and complete reinvention. William Zhang's journey from near-catastrophic failure to innovative success demonstrates Zadkiel's transformative power. After a failed merger left his company in shambles and relationships with key partners severely damaged, William found himself facing not just financial ruin, but a crisis of personal and professional identity. Zadkiel's frequency resonates with the power of transformation through forgiveness and understanding. For William, this manifested first as an ability to forgive himself for the merger's failure, then as insight into how to rebuild trust with his partners and team. The hardest part wasn't the financial loss, William reflected. It was facing the people I thought I'd let down, but something shifted in how I viewed the whole situation. Through Zadkiel's influence, he began to see that the merger's failure wasn't an endpoint, but a crucial turning point. Instead of trying to salvage his original business model, William embraced complete transformation. He restructured his company around principles of collaboration rather than competition, turning former competitors into partners. The focus shifted from rapid growth to sustainable relationship building. The most powerful lesson from Zadkiel's guidance was that true transformation often requires letting go of who we think we should be to become who we're meant to be. William's company didn't just recover, it evolved into something far more meaningful than its original form. Common experiences, what you need to know. Over the years of helping people discover their archangelic connections, I've noticed certain questions and experiences that come up repeatedly. Through countless conversations and shared stories, patterns have emerged that might help you understand your own journey better. How do I know if what I'm experiencing is really angelic guidance? This is perhaps the most common question I hear, and Sarah's experience provides a beautiful illustration of the answer. As a marketing executive facing a critical decision about her company's direction, she was receiving what she called persistent nudges, but wasn't sure whether to trust them. These thoughts would come to me during quiet moments, in the shower, during my morning coffee, just as I was falling asleep, she explained. They weren't dramatic or loud, but they kept gently pointing me in a direction that, frankly, scared me a little because it meant significant changes. What makes Sarah's story particularly interesting is how the guidance manifested in practical ways. She noticed recurring themes in conversations with clients. Seemingly random articles or social media posts would catch her attention, all pointing toward a particular market trend. Even casual conversations with strangers seemed to reinforce the same message. The key revelation came when she realized that angelic guidance rarely arrives as a thunderbolt from the blue. Instead, it's more like a persistent whisper, a gentle current guiding you toward your true path. For Sarah, following these subtle nudges led to a successful pivot in her business model that she would never have considered through logical analysis alone. The second most common experience people share relates to timing. I'm getting the guidance, but when do I act on it? This was Michael's primary struggle during his company's financial crisis. As someone whose name connected him with Archangel Michael, he expected decisive, warrior-like clarity. Instead, he found himself in what felt like a waiting game. I kept getting the sense that I needed to wait, which was incredibly difficult when everything seemed to be falling apart, he shared. But looking back, that timing was crucial. During the waiting period, key partners emerged, market conditions shifted, and solutions appeared that wouldn't have been possible if he'd acted immediately. This pattern of divine timing shows up repeatedly in successful transformations. The guidance often includes not just what to do, but when to do it. Learning to trust this timing, even when it doesn't match our preferred schedule, can be the difference between success and failure. The third most significant pattern I've observed relates to resistance and doubt. Jennifer's experience as a startup founder perfectly encapsulates this common challenge. I kept questioning whether I was just making it all up, she admitted. Here I was, a tech entrepreneur suddenly paying attention to angelic guidance. It felt crazy. What makes Jennifer's story so valuable is how she navigated this doubt. Instead of either dismissing the guidance or accepting it blindly, she developed what she called a practical partnership with her angelic connection. She would receive the guidance, test it in small ways, and document the results. I started noticing that when I followed these subtle nudges, even if they didn't make logical sense at first, they consistently led to better outcomes, she explained. It wasn't about abandoning business analytics or market research. It was about adding another layer of wisdom to my decision-making process. This integration of spiritual guidance with practical business acumen emerges as a crucial pattern in successful transformations. Those who navigate their challenges most effectively aren't choosing between divine guidance and practical action. They're learning to blend both in a balanced way. The beauty of these shared experiences lies in their universality. Whether you're a skeptical executive or a naturally intuitive entrepreneur, the patterns of angelic guidance remain consistent. It's the gentle persistence of the messages, the importance of divine timing, and the journey from doubt to integrated wisdom that characterizes successful connections with our archangelic guides. Remember, these experiences don't require you to change your business practices or abandon your analytical skills. Instead, they invite you to expand your awareness and open yourself to guidance that can enhance your natural abilities and intuition. In today's complex business environment, having access to this additional layer of wisdom can provide exactly the edge needed to transform challenges into opportunities for growth.